all the warm colours, it makes you feel warm. Very romantic. Nice. So I'm just going to blend in between that, get rid of any imperfections from when you were blending before. And that'll naturalise it as well. Gently blend the top of that, make it look soft. I'm not destroying it, I'm just diffusing it, if you like. Very gentle when I go over these. Same here. Actually, just go over it and just blend it off. Side of the brush I'm using, just the edge. Same up in there, just blend it off. Just like so. Now I'm going to come back down here and I'm going to actually, see that I said I was going to drag these stringy clouds out. That's what I meant. Make them look like they're really soft on the horizon. That's nice. Same on this one. Love it. Really love doing these. So much fun to actually put all these wonderful bright colours in. Maybe a little one. A bit more red with that. Just a smaller cloud, that. Put a few little, I'm still using the big brush as well. It's because all these little ones, when you blend them out, they look like wispy clouds. You know when you get the wispy clouds that are really wispy, they're broken in between them. It's really good for doing them because when you blend it out, it actually looks brilliant. So there's lots of interest and lots of stuff going on in there. Now because I haven't done this too dark at this side, I can get away with doing this. If it were as dark as it is there, it'd probably mix a little bit too much with that colour. The colour that's underneath. Maybe just one last big one up there. Yeah, something like that. Just get a clean brush, go back to that. Just gently blend it. If you're in little hairs or anything, you can just touch them and get rid of them. Just go underneath it first, gently blend that, and then I'll actually go right into these and blend them out. That's what I'm meaning by soft wispy clouds. Don't want to be distinct. Nice, it's a good stage we've got that to. So what we're going to do, we're just going to go back to this brush, which in fact no, I'll use a fan brush for this. I'm going to use the lavender that I had with the white, and then I'm just going to put more black with it. A load more black. So it's a lot paler, a lot darker, sorry. But yet the colours will match throughout the painting, because I'm using this same pile for it all. So that colour hue will suit the whole painting and you can't go wrong with it. It just fits and looks right. In fact, I might need a bit more white so that it's a bit too dark. It is a shadow colour, but you've got to be careful how dark you have it. Because you can't, once you've actually put it on there, it's hard then to blend it out. So I'm just going to lighten that first. You can always make it darker. Let's try that. See, that's not too bad. Maybe need a tad more crimson with that. So a balancing act when you're doing this to get the colours so that they fit. Just a tad more crimson. Yeah, that's better. Using little circles, I want to fill in that centre, the centre of this cloud. We're going to the shadow for it, just in the centre. Do it really rough first. Just mush it in there, don't worry about it. Something like that, and then I'll go back and I'll just gently, I'll be a lot more gentle. I'll just do a little fuzz the bottom part of it up slightly. So mixing. So all the way along. Just on the bottom edge first. Leave some of that orange though in some areas just showing on its own, and then you can actually scrub up to it a little bit here and there. Just up on those edges, but don't kill all that orange. Be careful not to kill it all. Just diffusing it. It'll make the orange actually look brighter by doing this. That's it. Now it's a good idea to keep all your blender brushes at hand, you know, that you've been using, and you can just gently blend under that where you started off. Be careful not to drag that colour, the dark shadow colour, into these light areas, yeah? You've got to be really careful of that. Trying to blend that soft now in centre. See how easy that is? So you work the bottom, you work the top, and then you come back with this big old clumsy brush and you just lovely blend it out. Nice and dark in this corner. Working on one cloud at a time. Don't get too giddy and like, try and do them all at once. That's good. I'm happy with how that looks. So I'm just going to use my fan brush again. Same colour we're using. And then just up in here, I'm going to apply a little shadow colour for this part. It's not going to be quite as big, it's a lot smaller. So like I say, I don't want to kill all that orange. Just like something like that. This one down here, in fact I might put a bit more white with it, just for this one down here. You're near the light source now, so I don't think it needs to be quite as dark. So just make it slightly lighter by putting a bit of titanium white with it. Love a little shadow just for that stringy cloud. Through there. Again, reload, and open at this one. Put a little shadow in there. I wanted this one to have a nice silhouette effect, so that it matches this higher it gets, usually the darker the silhouette gets, but these are quite wispy in here. I'm going to be a bit more cautious. Don't need it to be quite as dark. And being wispy clouds, want a little bit of shadow with them. Same up in here. Now I'm running out of paint, you see, it's ideal. You just go up into these areas and it's not going to apply too much colour, just enough. So, just a little shadows going on. Got one in there. Keep putting these lovely shadow colours in this cloud up here, make it a bit darker, just a tiny bit. This is the darkest one of these higher clouds. Fuzzy at the bottom. Yeah, something like so, that's looking good. You can actually, with this same brush now, start to come back and just gently naturalise that and blend it softly on the edges. Give it a lovely soft feel to these clouds. Same on bottom, just blend underneath, and then when you blend into it the shadow will still remain. Wet on white, you can see how gentle I'm being here, but you will find later on in the series that I'm not always a light-fingered painter. Sometimes you have to be really brutal and batter the canvas. This is a very soft process, just softly just blending out these lovely little clouds. Really got to be patient to do this, because it's easy to apply too much pressure and get loads too much paint coming out. Same with this, just let it blend a bit. Very much worthwhile taking that time to get these blended softly. Pays off. It looks great. Just go underneath it as well. Might be an even tone as well. Pretty even tone. For these I'm going to actually get a clean fan brush now, because it'll blend it out a lot quicker. I'm scared then of actually applying too much colour, and I shouldn't have been. I should have just used this first of all. Just blend that out, soften it, make it fit. Lovely. Get rid of any excess paint, and then just want to go into this. Nice. Now, I know that I'm going to have a little pond on here. So what I want to do, I want to actually get this pond, and I want to reflect this lovely orange colour into the pond. So while I'm at this stage, I'm just going to apply some of that colour, blending that out and making it soft. Nice. Actually, just when you've got a tiny bit of colour on, sometimes you blend up here a bit and you pick up a bit of the orange, and then you just come back in here, put a few little stringy clouds in, because there's not a lot of paint on your brush, it really works. Soft and subtle. Nice. So I'm just going to get that orange that I've been using, and then just where I want the little pond to be, I'm just going to put some of that in. And that can even be seen through the bush at this stage. allow it to mix with the liquid white that's on there. Nice. I want it to look like this actual pond is coming towards us as well, so start it smaller on the right, like so, just small, and then getting bigger on the left. Now some misty trees now above all this, so it's a lovely fun stage. A lot of that'll be painted over anyway, so I just wanted to get some of that colour in. You notice I didn't want it just one flat colour, made it look like there's some little ripples and stuff going on, but I'm going to put some reflections anyway into that. So I'm just going to step back and have a look at that. It's good. I'm just going to get a big blender brush. Make sure there's no little hairs or anything in it by tapping it out. And then I'm just going to gently caress that surface. There. Just soften any parts that need blending out of it. These big brushes, if you're very gentle, won't disturb the paint. This one. Like I say, it's got to be very gentle, very soft. Love it. Tap it out sometimes if you think you've picked up a bit of paint, and then you can carry on blending with it. Nice one. In fact, just noticed something. Just in there, I've blended it away slightly. Just this little continuation on this stringy cloud from that cloud that's there. Well, that's a softer brush now, which is not what much on it. Blend that. Yeah. Good, good. Right. Now, just down in the blonde area, we use the lavender colour, or should I say the mauve colour that I mixed up before. A little bit of yellow in that as well, so that's fine. It'll probably just make it look nice and natural. And then for this, I need it to be quite white. Let's just try it first. It needs to stand out just enough. That's too dark. So I want to get a bit more white with it. Get it to the correct tone, both sides. That's perfect. It should work well. And then just up in here in the background, I've got a lovely hill. It comes from right over here. I'm just thinking about the top edge at the moment. So all I'm concentrating on that top edge. Have a little pointy part to it there. And then come back down. I'm painting, like I said, just the top edge at the moment. So that's going to be a little distant hill. Right, going all the way along the canvas, but I wanted it to drop in the centre, just there. And then come back up again. Something like that. These are very far away, that's why I've made it so light, so that when I come back now, I'm going to blend behind, show you, blend behind that. Just leaving that nice sharp top edge. You can actually make it look further away once you've done this process by blending it out and making it look soft. Because when they're far off in the distance like this, they are very soft. Also using the filbert as opposed to using the knife for this is a good thing. Use the angles as well. I'm imagining that this is going to be angled this way. So when I'm blending that colour down, blend it at that angle. There we go. And again, you can just block straight underneath that. Like I said, I want this to come right through, as though it's, forget about the tree even being there. We'll cover up most of this. There. And blend behind that. Same there. Blend behind it. So this is the furthest away of the hills at first. Just got this lovely colour in here, everywhere. Change that slightly. There. Now, at the moment you can see that top edge is a little bit sharp. So all I'll do is I'll just use a clean brush, a big brush, and I'll softly just gently blend over that. You're not picking a colour up. You're going so gentle that you're just diffusing that top edge so it's soft and not sharp. Same in there. Nice one. Now, same fan brush that we're using. Now I want this to be a bit darker, just a tiny bit darker. You can see differences in colour tone between this one and this one. That's much lighter than this. Now, the way I can see this, I'm going to have a load of little trees that are a bit closer. Just in there. So I can actually put them in right at the water's edge. Because we're using the fan brush, it will allow us to just work it along and make it look like a little bit of trees that are just sitting at the side of that water, just in distant trees, very far away. Making sure I go over the orange, don't want to come underneath it because obviously you don't want to see any of that. There's no water behind these trees. The water's going to be in front of them. So I'll just let that fan out to there. We're going to have some bigger trees coming in front of that. Now just follow it right through this side, which is about there. See that following right through, as though that brush isn't even there. And then maybe let it get slightly bigger, because it's coming closer towards you there. Just darken that off a tiny bit so you can see it there. That should be clearer to you. Now all this colour that we've just put on, with these loose indications of trees, I just want you to come along and just pull down some of that colour from them bushes into the water. There's going to be reflections all the way along. And then, just going to use a clean brush, make sure there's no hairs in it at all. I just want to gently blend that down. So I'm going to get, in fact I'm not, because there's plenty on there already. Liquid white. See that there? Just pull it out flat, some liquid white. I'll put a bit of the orangey colour with that. a light orange. And then I'm going to cut across and get a ridge, a little ridge of paint just out on the knife. And then with that I'm just going to touch the canvas with the heel of the knife. I'm just going to pull this lovely bright waterline through. Just like that, and then that will just stand out behind. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create a bit of depth now. Just in front of this, I want to use the same colour. I want to put a tiny bit of black with it, darken it slightly. There. Something like so. Check that first on the canvas. What's it going to look like? Yeah. Just to stand out from behind, from what's behind it. And go a little bit bigger. The contrast needs to be right. You've got to be able to get that contrast so it stands out from what's there. In fact, I'm going to switch brushes now. Same colour, just going to use a filbert.